What's going on, guys? This is Team America, Adultery Outdoors. Here to talk about a really, not controversial, but really preference-based debate here in fishing. And that's, should you use, straight fluorocarbon, or should you use braid to a fluorocarbon leader for your Finesse presentations? Now, there's a lot of factors to this as to why you'd want to use one over the other. I just want to give some pros and cons. So I'll give the pros and cons, and I'll say why I do what I do first. And I actually have examples of both, and I'm going to talk about that. So the biggest reasons you'd want to use braid to fluoro is if you want to get more casting distance. If you're fishing a clearwater fishery like the main fisheries in our area, the Susquehanna River, that can make a difference. That extra couple feet out away from your boat can really get you a few more bites. So that's a big factor there. The other is sensitivity. Now, I think this is definitely second place among these two. I personally don't think there's a huge difference between fluoro and braid and sensitivity. I think braid is more sensitive, but I don't think it's as big as it's advertised, in my opinion. So if you're dealing with, basically this whole area, which is tough fishing, a lot of high pressure fisheries, where, the bites are often very subtle. That can buy you a bite or two. But again, I don't think it's a huge difference, but it is a little bit of a difference. They're not the same in that, but it's a little bit of a difference. So those are the two reasons you'd want to use braid to fluorocarbon leader. Now, here's two reasons why you'd rather use straight fluoro. And before I get into that, while I'm talking about that, typically for finesse, you're talking like a 10 to 15 pound braided leader to an 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. And then straight 8 for fluoro. I mean, you can get down to 6, but that's really, really risky when you're dealing with bass. I use straight 6 for trout personally, so that's risky. And then if you're going like 10 plus, that's, to me, that's bait caster line. Spinning, I'm not going over 8. That's just me. And that's on the fluorocarbon side. So two of these reasons for why you'd want to use straight fluoro kind of go hand in hand. The first is convenience. If you break off your at the knot, like not the knot breaking, but right like fluorocarbon right below the knot of your leader, you bet you have to tie a new leader. So in addition to retying your bait, you have to spend time tying a new leader. So even if you're good at your knots, that's still, in your tournament fishing, that's a couple extra minutes you're not in the water that you could be making a good cast if the bite's good, or if the bite's bad, just working those fish a little longer. So convenience is a huge factor there. And again, it kind of goes hand in hand, but if you're bad at connection knots, hey, guess what? That's me. I can do them, but they're not my specialty. One of my probably biggest weaknesses in the outdoors. Now, I can do them, but when I'm out there in the water, sometimes in the heat or in the elements, I can do them when the conditions are perfect. When I sit in my living room tinkering with tackle, or in my garage tinkering with tackle, but I sometimes can't get them right away when I'm on the water, and that takes, again, back to the convenience thing, takes time away from fishing. So if you're bad at them, it's going to be a lot easier, and you're going to get a lot more fishing time if you just stick with straight fluoro, deal with the casting distance issue, which is, it's an issue, but it's not end of the world issue. It's just a little bit extra, and that's why you'd want to go with the straight fluoro if you have those two issues. So here's two sets of mine, one of each, and I'm going to explain them both. So for the most of my setups, because of my knot deficiencies, I'm a straight fluoro guy. This is a 7.4 medium leg, Ike Series rod. If you saw it in my rod and arsenal video, and I'm combating the casting distance issue a little bit because this is a 7'4" rod, extremely long rod. So I can bomb, granted I can bomb really far with braid to fluoro, but even straight fluoro, I can still bomb this farther than someone who's using braid to fluoro with like a 6'6" rod, or match somebody who has like a 7-foot rod. Same setup, same rod, same weighted bait, same type of line, everything. Same, I can match that guy at 7 foot with the same bait, same weight. And again, 6'6" or lower, even 6'8" or lower, I'd say I'm beating them, just because of this rod. Now, obviously, if somebody has the same rod with braid, they're beating me. But I'm still getting that out there pretty far. And, you know, all my setups are 7.2 or bigger for spinning, except this next one, which I'm about to talk about. So I can make those bomb casts even with straight fluorocarbon, because unless the conditions are perfect, I'm not super efficient with my connection knots. I can do them, but it's not my strength. It's just something I've worked on, and just instead of me banging my head against the wall for it, I'm just gonna, you know, forget about it, use it for this next setup I'm going to talk about here, and just you know, not let it hinder my tournament abilities and time with my line in the water. So that's, you know, this is just one of my setups, but that longer rod, if you're a guy who's, you know, like me, not the best at knots and just use straight fluoro, that's going to help you out a lot. So this is a kind of an all-purpose setup for me. It's I don't know if I had this in the video actually, because I was kind of using this for trout, but it's a 6.6 medium light Dobbins Fury with a size 20 Iba Garcia Zada reel. I have 14-pound Berkeley Nanofill, which is a braid / copolymer line specifically designed for spinning rods, and I have 8-pound Seagar as my leader. This I do actually have the you basically kind of tweener between the Alberto knot and the blood knot. So I think I have the Alberto on this one. I don't know. I'm gonna say probably about a 10-12 foot leader, so I have to retie every time. Real light wire hook. This is just a Z-Man Zeeker Z dirt color with a 10th ounce weight for the Nico rig. All that is there. But with this rod, with this being braid to leader here, you know, if I'm struggling with connection knots, I have like 2 or 3 break-offs, and I'm throwing finesse baits, I'm just going to tie that finesse bait onto one of my straight fluoro rods and call it a day. But at least I had that bait on this rod and saw they were biting it. So it's not all for naught. But also, you know, if I'm going to throw top water on this rod, all I'm doing is I'm switching to a mono leader, and I'm throwing like a small Zara Spook, Puppy Junior, you know, a small jitterbug, something like that. That's not quite, that's like quarter ounce or smaller, that I can't really throw efficiently on a bait caster. So it's kind of like that all-purpose. This is kind of like my all-purpose spinning setup. So, and obviously if I want to throw a little jerk bait on here, I still have the fluoro on here. I can just work that. So I still do use braid to fluoro, and I also have it on my medium heavy mag action like Series 7.6 rod, which is my frogging / heavy flipping rod, which that's 50-pound braid. So that's a heavier knot that I don't have to worry about breakage much there. And I don't use the combo as much as these ones. It's just pretty much frogging and heavy flipping. So, but if you're someone who, you know, is great with your knots and stuff, you know, a shorter rod like this will help you slow down your presentation when the bite's tough, and you can still get out as far as I'm getting with that 7.4. And if you go up to still want that at max casting distance and can make yourself slow down, then you're really getting that far. So those are the pros and cons for the braid versus fluoro, straight fluoro argument. You know, you can be successful with both. But like I said, if you're great with your knots, you know, you definitely want to consider that braid to fluoro. But if you're not, you definitely want to consider fluoro. The other thing I'll add too, I forgot to mention, that's a factor in the favor of straight fluoro, is if you're fishing shallow water and current, like on the river, where you're getting stuck a lot and breaking off a lot. I mean, you're going to really spend a lot of time retying if you're using braid to fluoro. You know, straight fluoro will help you out a lot there in those situations. So it's Team America coming to you, talking about the difference between and the reasons for and against for each straight fluorocarbon for your finesse setups or braided line to fluorocarbon leader. We'll catch you later. Thank you for watching this Dual Throw Outdoors video. If you like this video, be sure to leave it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more Dual Throw Outdoors content.